Good morning, MAB Elementary. It's Mr. T. I'm here in the quiet room for our last mental math session for the year. This will be the end of the 2019-2020 school year at MAB, and we're ending it, as I said, in a virtual way. Here in the quiet room, gotta tell you, it's way too quiet. Sure miss you guys and look forward to seeing you again real soon. So this will be mental math for lizards. Get your thinking caps on. Piece of paper, pencils. I came in here to the quiet room so I could use my mental brain for math. Here we go. Lizards. At the Science Museum, there were 259 experiments that deal with water. 145 deal with electricity, 161 that deal with plants. How many experiments are there in the Science Museum? All right, I'm going to read that again. Pay attention to your numbers. Set up the problem on your worksheet. Science Museum, 259 experiments that deal with water, 145 that deal with electricity, and 161 that deal with plants. How many experiments are there? Read your video, work your problem, then come see Mr. T. All right, what we got here is we've got three add-ins the way I see it. We have 259 experiments that deal with water, 145 that deal with electricity, and 161 in botany deal with plants. And I want to know how many experiments we have in all. Whenever you hear those words, in all, you know you've got an addition problem. You see how I've lined up my place values? I've got three add-ins, but I still have to have units and units, tens and tens, and hundreds, or I can't come up with the correct sum. 9 and 5 is 14, and 1 is 15 units. 15 units is a 5 in a unit place. 10 units must be exchanged for 110. 110 and 5 is 6, and 4 is 10, and 6 is 16. 16 tens is 6 in 10 place. 10 tens must be exchanged for 100. 100 and 200 is 300, 400, 500. In the museum, there are 565 experiments. If you got it right, give yourself a check. If you got it wrong, figure out why. And then come back to Mr. T for the next problem. The Statue of Liberty was given to the United States of America by France in 1884. It has three parts. One part is 151 feet tall, the second part was 89 feet tall, and the base was 65 feet tall. What is the statue's height? Statue of Liberty was given by France to the United States in 1884. It has three parts. One part is 151 feet tall, the second part 89 feet tall, and the base is 65 feet tall. How tall is the Statue of Liberty? Freeze your video. All right, so first of all, and that's what these story problems do, you got to read them carefully, because the fact that the Statue of Liberty was given to America by the French in 1884, that number is not part of the problem. What we want to know is how high the statue is. And for that, we've got, again, three add-ins. We've got 151 feet for the first part. We've got 89 feet for the second part. And we've got 65 feet for the base. If I want to know how tall it is in all, 9 and 1 is 10, 15 units. 10 units exchanges. 6 and 8 is 14, and 6 is 20. 20 means 0, 20 tens. 20 means 0 in the 10th place, and 20 tens has got to be exchanged for 200s. So I have 300. So we know the Statue of Liberty is 305 feet tall. Don't be thrown off when you read story problems. Whenever you have a mathematical question, you need to think about it. You need to see, what is it that I'm trying to figure out here, all right? What are the essential numbers? What are the parts of the problem I have to figure out? And that takes some thinking, brainstorming, before you even pick up your pencil. And then when you pick up your pencil, you have to take those words and record them into numbers. So here you go. Mr. Grant has a farm. He planted 213 rows of beans, 423 rows of corn. Of these, 8 rows were ruined. How many rows of vegetable does he have that he can harvest? So he planted 213 rows of beans, 423 rows of corn, and then he lost 8 of them to bugs or drought or whatever. How many rows of vegetable does he actually have? Freeze your video, solve your problem. Come see Mr. T. All right, so the first thing we got to do is we got to figure out how many rows of vegetables did he plant. Well, he planted 213 of beans, vegetable, and 423 of corn, both vegetables. So I need to know how many he had in all planted, so I got to add them up. 3 and 3, 6, 3 tens, 600s. So he had 636 rows of vegetables to harvest, but he lost some of them, and that's what you really would need to know. He lost 8. So we need to know the difference between the total number he had and what was left, the difference that was left after he lost 8. That makes it a subtraction problem, doesn't it? Can I take 8 units from 6 units? I cannot. Come over here and leave myself with 2 tens. 1 10 becomes 10 units. 16 units, take away 8 is 8. 2, 6. He has 628 rows of veggies to farm. If you got it right, give yourself a check. You got it wrong, check with Mr. T's math. See what you should have done right. Jerry collected 435 baseball cards and 358 basketball cards, some collection. He gave his brother 25 cards to start his own collection. How many cards does Jerry have now in his collection? So he collected 435 baseball cards, huge collection, and 358 basketball cards. And then, generous soul that he is, he gave his brother 25 to start his own collection. So how many does Jerry have now? Answer your problem. Freeze your video. Come back and see Mr. T. Jerry started out, well, he collected 435 baseball cards, and he collected 358 basketball cards. We need to know how many he had in all in his card collection. It was a big one. So that means we have to add the 2 add-ins. 5 and 8 is 13 units, 3 units, 1 10. 4 tens, 5 tens is 9 tens. 4 hundreds, 3 hundreds is 7 hundreds. So he has 793. It's pretty nasty. 3 there, Mr. T. 793 baseball cards in all. But nice brother that he is, he took away 25 of them to give to his brother. So we have to do a subtraction. And now we have a final answer. Can I take 5 units from 3 units? I cannot. But I can get 10 units over here, leaving me with 8 tens. 13 units minus 5 is 8 units. 8 tens take away 2 tens is 6 tens. 7 take away nothing is 7. So young Jerry's got 768 cards in his sports card collection. Big collection. Well, ladies and gentlemen, mental math is over. I hope you guys will use your math skills a lot this summer. When you go to the store, add up the money you have, subtract what you purchased, figure out what you got left. Use math every day, and that way your mental math brain will stay strong, and you'll be ready for us when you come back to school in September to move on to ever more complicated story problems with Mr. T and our other teachers, Mrs. Kiefer and Mr. Smith. So this is Mr. T signing off. Have a great summer.